2 Kings chapter 14 in the King James Version. In the second year of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, reigned Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah. He was 25 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 29 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jehoadin of Jerusalem. And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, yet not like David his father. He did according to all things as Joash his father did. Howbeit, the high places were not taken away. As yet the people did sacrifice and burnt incense on the high places. And it came to pass, as soon as the kingdom was confirmed in his hand, that he slew his servants which had slain the king his father. But the children of the murderers he slew not, according unto that which is written in the book of the law of Moses, wherein the Lord commanded, saying, The fathers shall not be put to death for the children, nor the children be put to death for the fathers, but every man shall be put to death for his own sin. And so, continuing, he slew of Edom in the valley of Salt 10,000, and took Selah by war, and called the name of it Joktheel unto this day. Then Amaziah sent messengers to Jehoash, the son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, Come, let us look one another in the face. And Jehoash, the king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, The thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, Give thy daughter to my son to wife. And there passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon, and trode down the thistle. Thou hast indeed smitten Edom, and thine heart hath lifted thee up. Glory of this, and tarry at home. For why shouldest thou meddle to thy hurt, that thou shouldest fall, even thou, and Judah with thee? But Amaziah would not hear. Therefore Jehoash, king of Israel, went up, and he and Amaziah, king of Judah, looked one another in the face at Bethshemesh, which belongeth to Judah. And Judah was put to the worse before Israel, and they fled every man to their tents. And Jehoash, king of Israel, took Amaziah, king of Judah, the son of Jehoash, the son of Ahaziah, at Bethshemesh, and came to Jerusalem, and brake down the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim unto the corner gate, 400 cubits. And he took all the gold and silver, and all the vessels that were found in the house of the Lord, and in the treasuries of the king's house, and hostages, and returned to Samaria. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash, which he did in his might, and how he fought with Amaziah, king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? And Jehoash slept with his fathers, and was buried in Samaria, and the king of Israel and Jeroboam his son reigned in his stead. And Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, lived after the death of Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, 15 years. And the rest of the acts of Amaziah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? Now they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish. But they sent after him to Lachish, and slew him there. And they brought him on horses, and he was buried at Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. And all the people of Judah took Azariah, which was 16 years old, and made him king instead of his father Amaziah. He built Elath and restored it to Judah. After that, the king slept with his fathers. In the 15th year of Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam, the son of Joash, king of Israel, began to reign in Samaria, and reigned 41 years. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from all the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain, according to the word of the Lord God of Israel, which he spake by the hand of his servant Jonah, the son of Amittai, the prophet, which was of Gath Hapar. For the Lord saw the affliction of Israel that was very bitter, for there was not any shut up, nor any left, nor any helper for Israel. And the Lord said not that he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven, but he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam, the son of Joash. Now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam and all that he did in his might, how he warred and how he recovered Damascus and Hamath, which belonged to Judah, for Israel, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? And Jeroboam slept with his fathers, even with the kings of Israel, and Zechariah his son reigned in his stead. Okay, there was a lot here. A lot. So much so that there's going to be a couple things that I want you to take note of, because there's going to be filler. So we have one of the kings of Judah. Here he comes, and he doesn't do as a reflection of David, completely faith of the Lord, having all the people follow and worship the Lord, making sure there was no Baals or other worship within Israel and Judah. At the time, which was Israel, because it was one kingdom. But so here he goes, making sure that all of these, that Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, reigned, in the first verse, reigned, in the second year of Joash, son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, reigned Amaziah, the son of Joash, king of Judah. So Amaziah, he had faith, but it was him and him alone and the people around him. Wasn't necessarily a, hey, Israel or Judah, let's get back to the Lord. It was kind of like, okay, so people were still mixing practices, still worshiping other things on a high hill under every green tree, still doing those things. But the king recognized that it was God who was God over Israel and Judah. And so he did things, but there was something that he did in particular right before he decided that he was going to fight against their brother Israel that caused all of this to happen. And that will be filled in when we get to Chronicles. So take note of him. The other one is how the king Jeroboam, this other king. So you're going to see a lot of repeats of names too. That happens a lot. So you may want to take note somewhere in your journal or wherever, even in the Bible itself. Some people do that. But take note that this is a different one. But also this portion here that happens around that time, because there's a whole book that we're going to read from this particular prophet. And that's in verse 25. He restored the coast of Israel from the entering of Hamath unto the sea of the plain, according to the word of the Lord God of Israel, which he spake by the hand of his servant Jonah, the son of Amittai, the prophet, which was of Geth Hephar. So take note, because that also is going to be one of the prophets that we're going to read. There's a book about it, and we'll understand where one of the places that he goes in particular, and as to why this king of Israel, even though he was following after the footsteps of the previous kings of Israel, which means that he was not was not committed to the Lord, every now and then there was a prophet or something that got through to him, and he was able to do things that were not bad. And we'll get more of that when we get to Chronicles as well. Okay, so there's a lot here. Sermon upon sermon in this chapter 14. So listen to this, though. Okay. Verse 9. And Jehoash, the king of Israel, sent Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, the thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, give thy daughter to my son to wife. And there passed by a wild beast that was in Lebanon, and trode down the thistle. Thou hast indeed smitten Edom, and thine heart hath lifted thee up. Glory of this, and tarry at home, for why shouldest thou meddle to thy hurt, that thou shouldest fall, even thou, and Judah with thee? So, this is a king of Israel talking to the king of Judah, saying, hey, I know you want to come and fight against me. I don't think so. You're going to get hurt. There will be a lesson to that. In fact, you may be destroyed. So, bringing past to present. Have you ever heard of the term a big-headed? Someone who, let the power go to their head. Yeah. So it's strange how this king of Israel, who is following the sins of Jeroboam and leading the people astray, somehow is able to communicate a pretty solid message to the king of Judah. Why? More will be revealed when we get to Chronicles, but there was something that the king of Judah had did. And something wasn't right with the king of Judah. He was in his thoughts and feelings. He was in his pride and his arrogancy because, he smit Edom. One of the kingdoms that were around him during the time of Solomon, though, was paying tribute. And this time they had separated themselves because of the sins of Israel altogether. But they had separated themselves, set a king over them, and they were causing trouble to Judah and Israel, in this case, Judah at this time. And the king of Judah went and fought against them and won, victorious, and decided to now attack his brother. But the king told him, hey, have festivals, have, feasts, do your thing, do your big one. Have fun, celebrate. But don't try to come over here because you're going to get hurt. Sometimes we can, in our successes, bringing past to present, we can get, if we don't watch ourselves, yes, even us, right? Even us, because we're all sinners here. There's this verse in Psalms that we'll get to, one, not even one. Okay. I searched and I could not find one, not even one. So if you know the verse, you can put it in the comments or, take note of it. And so he's, thinking about it. And sometimes, we get into, we are like, yes, I can do anything. But we missed that last part. What's that verse? I can do all things through Christ, which strengthened me. If you know where that is, put in the comments or put in your journal. Take note. Or to be continued. So think about that. Yeah, he did this miracle, like this marvelous thing. And he's like, I'm going to continue. I'm going to see if I can kick Israel's butt. And instead of focusing on the Lord and being grateful, giving him praise, giving him glory, giving him honor, here he is getting information from someone that typically wouldn't provide wise wisdom. The Lord can utilize anybody. He utilized back all the way back in the old, or in the previous books. He used what's his name, Balaam, who definitely was not a worshiper of the Lord. Balak and Balaam, remember those two? Yeah. And instead of cursing Israel, he blessed them. So we have to sometimes understand that we are human. We do have thoughts and feelings, and sometimes we do get prideful and arrogant. In those times, remind ourselves who the glory and the honor does belong to. We wouldn't have any success if it wasn't for our King, if it wasn't for our Savior. Think about that. Before we go on, though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel? And what does it make you think?